What's up, you guys? Crass and Crusher here, back in the video. And today we're doing an update on Midnight. So, lots has changed since the last time you saw this thing. One of the obvious things is there's now a full-length floorboard on this side. I had to widen some holes, and yeah, I kind of messed up on that one a little bit, but it's on there. And the reason why I did that is the only fear, I had a big fear if I would have had the half ones, I'm going along and I hit a bump and my foot slides off the tire, could grab it and pull it under, and I just don't want to deal with that. The next thing is the 420 Predator, if I can open up the damn hood, is now sitting in here, and it is actually fully bolted in here. I can move this whole tractor with it, and you see there's plenty of alignment with the clutch and the pulley now. That's a temporary 5-inch. I gotta go a little bit bigger. And there's also a stage 1 kit on there. And I did this because what I want to do is I want to snorkel this so it either comes this way or comes up and then down into this area. I still need to hook up a battery, but worry about that later. And I still have to do the second floorboard on this side, but so yeah, lots has changed with Midnight. There's some other stuff that'll be happening. Oh yeah, I felt like showing this. I cut and I pushed the hood out so it goes over the gas tank and there's not a big gaping hole, and I kind of screwed it up because I probably should have taken the end with the Suburban, but we'll call it the Suburba. Midnight the Suburba. But so today what we're going to do is, see that transaxle case there? When I first got the Sears, when it came, well, remember it was 3 frames for $100. It came with a few training parts, including 2 case halves, but it was missing a lot. So on eBay, I forget the price, but I found a box of 633A parts that's enough there to do a full transmission. Let me go show you that here. So what I did, see, I got to clean out this case and the other one sitting right there. I welded the diff on this one. You see, it's a little ugly because I'm gonna have to go over it, but the welder, something was going wrong with the wire speed on the welder, but it's fixed now. Yeah, I gotta scrub this case out, including that one there, but you can see there's all 633A parts here to make a whole transmission. These are your planetary gears that I didn't end up needing because I had a welded set. Yeah, here's the other case. See, there's other tranny parts here that I might end up needing, but yeah, you probably can't see too well, but that's gonna have to get scrubbed down as well. So we're gonna get this transmission out back because I got something else to show you. But yeah, let's get this thing out back, and it's gonna be pretty bad, but I don't think I've ever shown you this. This is my parts cleaner. We got this for free from a friend of ours a few years ago and never ended up using it, but this thing is pretty cool. It's got a filter and it's got the spray nozzle, so when you turn it on, it sprays your stuff out, and it's got holes so it drains it, refilters it. But yeah, this thing is awesome. I've used this to clean out a couple transaxles here, so this is the very efficient way. I'd highly recommend getting one of these. But so you got the scrub brush there. We're gonna clean this out and start putting some gears in it. So it's been a couple days into the future. I wasn't necessarily setting this project aside. I was actually waiting on a couple parts that I needed to finish this thing. But as you can see, I got most of the gears in place here, and they're spinning right, and I can't get this damn thing to balance. But yeah, I gotta get the reverse gear here and the rest of the gears in place. These, I don't know what you call it, but I call it like a shifter fork. And then this thing's ready to go back together. Obviously, I got to get the diff installed, but I wanted to figure out where everything else went. And so far, it's going smooth. I got to give a big shout out to Mainly Motors on YouTube, because he stopped by today. He was picking up some mowers down by me, and he gave me 2 brand new axle seals. So I got those both in because these original ones were bad, and he also gave me this steering arm. This is the one that goes from your steering wheel to the center point here, then the point that connects. I don't know if you're going to be able to see, but right there, where I tried to make one, this is going to go there and go back. So thanks again, man. You literally saved a lot of stress that I had on this build. So now what I'm going to do is, on the transmission, I'm going to figure out where the rest of these go. Then we're going to assemble the diff. You see I got my welded gears there. And then we're going to lay some silicone all the way around it, double check it, and then we're going to throw this thing together and hopefully, knock on wood, that it goes smooth. So it is the next day, and I have everything dialed in here. The diff assembly, it's all in. That was interesting to get in. It wasn't as bad as I thought it was, just interesting to figure that out. I got the gear selectors down in there. You can see the reverse gear. Now the only thing left to do is to lay some silicone all the way around it and put the top case back on, which is sitting right there. But one thing I'm going to make sure I do is I'm going to make sure these gasket mating surfaces are like 5,000% clean, because I don't feel like it's not like an 820 where I can tear it apart and clean it in one day. It took me a day to figure out how to take one of these out, let alone put one back in. Putting it back in took like 3 days to figure out. But it's definitely easier when you have somebody. But so yeah, everything's dialed in. You can see it's in neutral. She spins fine. It's the lighting's bad, but it's locked. I welded it on both sides, so it's extra locked. So yeah, right now I'm gonna lay some silicone around, and we're putting this thing back together. And I gotta go get some fluid, but hopefully that thing will be on 4 wheels very soon. There's only a couple of the little bugs I'll have to do, and I'll show you guys those there. I don't even know if that made any sense, but I'll show you those in a second. But yeah, let's get this trans back together. Alright guys, so got the trans together, sealed it up. There is an issue. It started leaking some oil last night. See, I put some cat litter down because I woke up this morning. So I kept checking this every hour for like 3 hours, and there was nothing. But overnight, it managed to accumulate. So paper towels are trying to get up. This whole section of my bench was soaked. So it's leaking out of the bottom, kind of towards the front, like right around here. Obviously, like in here. So I'm hoping what it is like I'm hoping that I can just tighten up the bolts, because thinking maybe I forgot to tighten up a couple or something. So I'm gonna check that now. But unfortunately, I might have to tear this thing back apart again. But yeah, let me do some more digging around, and if it's something simple that I can do, we're going to get that installed in midnight. Okay, so after a little bit more inspection, I actually figured out why it was leaking. Pick the same thing up. Look at that input. It is drizzling out oil from that stupid input pulley. So yeah, that's not good. See, it's draining down the whole side of it. So that really sucks. So yeah, I'm pretty sure I might have to tear this thing apart now and fix that, but I'm gonna try to look up a seal number or something. So yeah, that's what it is. So I'm gonna figure something out here, and then I'll update you guys here in a little. Guys, what's up? So it's been a couple days actually a couple weeks into the future, I should say, since I last recorded anything on this transmission. It's been about three or 4 weeks. So a lot has actually changed, or shouldn't really change, but a lot has been done. So yeah, let me give you an update. So as you saw last, I had the transmission together, but I figured out that the input shaft and the brake shaft seal both leaked. Well, unfortunately, as you can see, I had to tear this thing apart again, because no matter what I did, I could not get these stupid seals out. I even went as far as buying a pick set, and as you can see, it was bending it. Like, that's supposed to be straight, and it started bending my picks. So I just said screw it and took it apart, and as you can see, I got one seal out, and I got the other one. And there's all my internals, which it'll be a pain to figure out how the shifting assembly goes together, because that gave me trouble before, but I'll figure it out. But I guess it was kind of a good thing that I had to tear it apart, because this is my washer that goes under where the brake shaft sits right here. And I didn't even notice this, but apparently it's broken. So this could have caused a lot more issues down the road. If this had slid out and then been in the gears, it would have probably destroyed these bearings and or done something up that probably don't want. So I guess it's a good thing that I had to tear it apart, because I caught that. But yeah, so I took both cases are clean. So the plan is since I have both those bad seals out, but the plan is I'm going to take those two seals to a Napa store and get those redone, because my axle seals, which again, I got these from Mainly Motors, shout out to him, but these are Napa. They came from Napa. They're a 9838 part number, I believe. But yeah, so I guess the brake and input shaft seals aren't prone to go bad, because I talked to a bunch of people who have dealt with 633s, and not one of them knew a part number or anything. So I guess it's a good thing, because now I'll be able to know in case someone else needs to know. So yeah, when I get the part number for those two seals, I'll include the axle seals as well in the description of this video. So if you need them, you can order them. But yeah, so the plan is to get new seals, and I'll update you guys when I am putting this transmission back together. Hopefully for the last time, unless I break something else, which hopefully, knock on wood, that doesn't happen. But yeah, so we'll get that going. Like I said, they're clean. I gotta get this gasket material off before I go to seal it up again. But I will see you guys rebuilding this mess. A couple days later, I got to this point again, hopefully for the last time. I got my new seals. You know how well, I don't think you guys are going to be able to see. Probably should have shown you before, but you can see the input shaft sticking down, but there is a new seal in there. Here's the part number for it, 6229, and the axle seals are 9838 noted. These axle seals are for keyed axles. I don't know if those work for the spline ones, but yeah, unfortunately the one for my brake shaft was damaged when I got it, so I got to get a new one, but it was working, so I know once I get another one of those, it'll be perfectly fine. But yeah, I'm honestly surprised that it didn't even take me that long to get to this point. It took me maybe 5 minutes. I guess these transmissions aren't as hard to understand as I once thought. Like in 20s, I can do this probably blindfolded. I've had to do it so many times, but this compared to this, drastically different and drastically a lot harder. So that was nice. So hopefully within the next couple days or so, I can re-get my new seal, and I'll be able to get this trans back together, hopefully for the last time, because this thing has been fighting me. But one tip that I will say when putting this back together, make sure 100% that both of these shifters are in neutral, because if they're not, you're going to have issues when you try to go to put your shifter back in, and when this is already together, it's a pain to try to get those lined up. So make sure those are lined up beforehand, and also make sure that all your thrust washers, yeah, one right there, are on all of the shafts. Otherwise you'll have chafing issues, from what I've been told. But yeah, I mean, everything seems like it's in its correct spot. I went through with the rubber mallet, and I just tapped on all these tops of these gears to make sure they're all seated down in. You don't want to go smashing on them. You just want to go tap, tap, tap. But yeah, so I will be back with you guys when my new seal is in, and I'm about ready to seal this transaxle back together for hopefully, knock on wood, for the last time. So I'll see you guys then. And also, let me show you this. Here's midnight currently. Fortunately, we got rain yesterday, so the brand new 420 is wet. But yeah, midnight's cannot wait for this transmission. I gotta say, what the hell is going on, New Hampshire? It is currently in the dead middle of winter, and it's 52 degrees outside, and not an ounce of snow anywhere. I mean, I'm not complaining, but like New England's starting to scare me. But yeah, I'm not sure if I don't remember if I showed you this or not in the last video, but hood off. We got there we go. We have now a clutch spring attached to one of these. I don't know what you would call them, but they're threaded. So the clutch now has a tight spring, which is awesome. So even a step closer, and I got the throttle I started doing a choke cable. See, I got a hole drilled out, and I got one of my cables over there. I got to test fit it, and I'm probably gonna find some way to lock it down to this, so it'll connect right here to the choke linkage. So yeah, I'm making progress, and New England's starting to scare me. So I'll be back with you guys when the transaxle is ready to be put back. All right, guys, there we go. Midnight Strand is back together. I got my new seal for the brake shaft, as you can see. Sorry if it's a little dark. That's all in there. And I made sure it worked. So I recommend everybody doing this. Shout out to Josh Theory for this idea. So before I even put silicone on it, I put a couple bolts in there, 2 on that side, 2 on this side, 1 and 1. And then I locked it into gear, locked the high range into gear, and spun the pulley over to make sure it was spinning over properly, and it was. So then I pulled it back apart, and then I sealed it up. I put the sealant in between, bolted it together, and then I also took some on my finger and I rubbed it along the edge all the way around to try to help give it an extra seal just in case. So yeah, I'm gonna let this dry all night. Then tomorrow we'll fill it up with some fluid, and then we'll be able to finally test if it'll hold. Then if it's good, we'll finally be able to slap it into midnight. So I'll be back with you guys in the morning, and we'll see what this looks like. Alright guys, so it's the next day, and sorry it's a little dark, but there's no oil around that seal, and there was none around this seal, and I tested it. I leaned it to both sides. There's no more leaking, finally. So it definitely proves that these seals are exactly correct. Yeah, now the only thing left to do is we're gonna, and of course with New England weather, we just got snow. Not a lot, but some decent amount, and of course it's not like powdery. It's that really wet snowman snow, so that's great. So I tried to clean off midnight here. We're gonna get the ass end of midnight over to the garage here, and we're gonna start putting this rear end back in, and hopefully in the next few days be able to drive this. So it's been another couple weeks into the future. I know it's been a common theme with this video, but I was actually waiting on some more parts of this transmission. See, I finally got midnight out here, and the snow's finally melted. Damn, birds are going like crazy. But yeah, the trans still isn't leaking, but what I was actually waiting for was a new brake drum, because the trans was missing it. So before I put this trans into this tractor, I wanted to make sure I had a good brakes. So what I'm doing now is I'm going to take this brake rod off, because I have a full one. This one was cut. And then this bolt right here, I can't get it out. So then this is the old original brake piece, and it bolted on. You know, the piece that pinches on the brake. So I got to cut that off and get some new bolts. And I got my new brake pad. So yeah, I'm going to install that, and then I'll be right back with you guys, and we're going to get this thing installed into midnight. Fine. Just like that, guys, we got brakes on this trans. So now let's jack the rear end up with this, and I'm going to try to get time lapse of me installing this, but if I don't, oh well. But I will see you guys with the trans in it. Fine. Well, there we go, guys. The transmission is finally in it, as you saw. These are, I had to steal the hubs and wheels from Rambler for now because I don't have any hubs, so I got to source some proper hubs for this thing. Yeah, the trans is in it. The shifts and everything. High-low is connected. The brakes are connected and they actually grab. Yeah, so this thing is really, really close to a test drive. The only thing it needs is a proper clutch spring, because as you can see, there's nothing, so you kind of have to use your foot, but oh well. I got to get gas and I got to get oil, but other than that, this thing is pretty much ready to go. So I want to thank you guys for watching. Remember, like, comment, subscribe, and tell me what you guys think on Midnight. You think it looks good? What else should I do to it? But yeah, remember to leave a like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye, guys.